The Captain America 4 Brave New World cope has reached kind of next levels. There was a Collider article that made the rounds, and like a lot of screenshots of it started to go a little bit viral for good reason, because it was such a laughable headline. Captain America Brave New World is officially one of the highest grossing action movies in U.S. box office history.
Well, they want that access, man. Whew.
And you read that, you're like, holy shit, like, yeah, that must be up there. Well, come to find out, it just cracked the top 100 of action movies of all time. Passing things that were released, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. And obviously with inflation, it wouldn't actually even be close. But yeah, it broke into the top 100 highest grossing action movies in box office history. But if that's not enough, Jay, this made the rounds, I think, yesterday. I can't believe this is a real fucking tweet, and they actually made a graphic for it. But here it is. Captain America Brave New World has surpassed Black Widow at the box office. Black Widow, by the way, was released on Disney Plus on the same day it was released in theaters. Just so everyone remembers that. Becoming the 31st highest grossing film in the MCU. Now, if there had been 100 MCU movies, 31st highest grossing, that actually could be, okay, something you like, nothing to scoff at. There's been 35 of them. Like, what the fuck is this, right? Of the 35 MCU movies that have been released, right? Let's scroll all the way down here, and we get our bottom 5 or 6. The Marvels, we know, a colossal failure, the biggest disaster they've ever seen. The Incredible Hulk, which released in 2008, $265 million at the box office. In today's money, that's $400 million. Still more than Captain America Brave New World has made. That's just factoring in standard inflation, not like ticket price stuff and like things like that. Captain America, the First Avenger, it just recently passed. $370 million. You know what that would be if it released today, Jay?
I wouldn't know.
That'd be the equivalent of around $520 million, over $500 million, right? Black Widow, which, as we just mentioned, was released on Disney Plus on the same day, coming out of COVID, all that stuff. That's why they did that. And then Captain America Brave New World. This is what you're bragging about. And you haven't even beat these. Not really.
Maybe they're assuming to the normal eye, people that don't follow this stuff or anything like that, they would see that and just go, oh, okay, so it didn't do that bad. So the naysayers were wrong and they just move on with their lives. But my goodness, man, they are running out of spin here. How poorly else can they spin this? That it's just becoming it was laughable before. It's way laughable now. To compare it to movies that are years old, and I don't know how much more they could spin this to try to make it look like it was successful. Why don't they just come out and just say, hey, man, we tried something, it didn't work. We're going to try something different. That's just what you have to do. Admit it. They will never admit it. They're too prideful. I don't know.
They're all about Marvel. All about Marvel updates. This ain't a flex. The 31st highest grossing film in the MCU. That is the opposite of a flex, Marvel updates.
I'm thinking that's a parody, man. A parody account. If you're going to say something like that. Oh, my goodness.
But hey, look, I think it'll creep up over 400 million, probably end up a little higher than Eternals, probably not really that close to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was a failure. Eternals was a failure. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a failure.
Yeah.
This movie is a failure. There's no doubt, even with the lying budget that they're putting out there, like the bullshit, dog shit $180 million budget. That's not the budget. We know it's twice that, at least. But even with that, it is a failure. But this is the new cope that has come down. The 31st highest grossing film in a franchise that has 35 entries. Congratulations.
Yeah. Good on you. Here's your participation award. Thanks for playing.
And it just passed a movie that was released on the same day on Disney Plus as it was in theaters.
Jeez.
That's the big flex.
That is what are they going to do for the next one? A Thunderbolt. You think Thunderbolts will do as bad as Captain Marvel? Does anybody care?
I
Does
don't think
anybody
it'll do
have
as bad as
any
Captain
hype to see the
Marvel.
Thunderbolts whatsoever? Is like
You mean as I don't think it'll do as bad as the Marvels. But I
I
don't
mean, it's
know.
Captain America.
Like maybe there's a chance that that's a better movie, but I don't know what the draw is for that superhero team.
Yeah,
Like I care more about Bucky than any other character that's
right.
involved in there, obviously. But he's not the leader of that team. It's Yelena. It's the new Black Widow's team.
And we don't even
Florence
know
Pew Pew Pew.
how much of the movie is actually in. Maybe they just teased him like they did with Red Hulk. He's just in there for like the final battle. Or maybe he's in there.
And also he's running for Congress now.
Yeah, he's running for Congress. So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they'll bring him in to give him a rah-rah speech, like in Captain America: Brave New World. They'll bring him in there and they're like, well, we're not really the Avengers. We're the Thunderbirds. It's like, no, you've earned that title. Get out there and fight the good fight.
There's at least one action sequence I've seen with him. So it's like, it's not like he's coming in there as his congressman persona. I don't know. I think there's some people who feel like that could be an okay movie potentially from some things I've heard about it, but I just don't know, man.
I just don't see the draw anymore. It's like when you go back to Marvel, like the first 3 phases, basically the the Thanos run. It's you watch, a lot of people went to see the next film because it was all leading to an end. It's like we had a beginning, the story, whether you like the movies or not. They were almost all of them were very successful because everybody wanted to see what happened next. Maybe they got a glimpse of something. It was all leading to Endgame, right? Like to the end. So these movies are just there's no point to them. They don't move the needle. Nothing happens. There's nothing to these films. They're not origin stories. If they are, they're horrible origin stories. And there's no point in seeing them. Why would I waste all this money to go watch these movies when it's not moving the needle or putting me in a direction of where I'm supposed to go? Maybe that's what Fantastic Four is going to do when that hits. It's like, okay, now we're going to start. I guess they were pushing Kang Dynasty, and then that just crumbled right before it even got started. But maybe Kang was supposed to be in Captain America. I have no idea. Technically, he was supposed to be the next.
He's supposed to be the next big bad, right?
Yeah. And because
obviously
he
pulled the rug out from under that. Did you hear the leaked audio of him yesterday, the day before?
Not good.
Yeah, it's like I people were very much like he's getting railroaded and this isn't fair. And it's like, look, I am pretty sure that was like I think both people in that relationship are probably assholes. But
yeah,
he did do these things, right? He did strangle, or not strangle her, but choke her, right? He did do these things. And there's new audio of him actually admitting to doing that. And look, the way the audio was gotten, someone recording him probably when he wasn't aware, things like this, shady, bullshit, whatever you want to say, but he did those things. And everyone wants to pretend like he's just some great guy because the media tried desperately to make him look like that. And he spun everything and tried to play the victim card. And I get it. I caught a lot of flack for talking about Jonathan Major's court case. A lot of people from the Black community didn't like the fact that I was saying it, but it's just out there. Like the stuff was out there. Him on tape screaming about what a great man he is. And now on tape admitting that he did choke his girlfriend at the time and throw her up against the car and all that. That's Kang for you.
Not good. But even that storyline, it didn't really take off like I think they wanted, because they were trying to mix the Disney Plus shows. And I hope maybe down the road they'll learn, but they probably won't, is that people don't want to do homework. So stop forcing people to like watch the Disney Plus shows just to enjoy a movie. It's stupid. It makes no sense. I think they thought that if we make them do that, we'll get more subscribers on Disney Plus because they're excited about the next Marvel film. It just doesn't work that way. Now your movies are bomb. Your Marvel films are bombing. Star Wars is a freaking joke and a half. Like it's more of a comedy now than anything from a galaxy far, far away. And pretty soon, like all these IPs that they have that should be making tons of money, they're just going to end up on your Disney Plus network. You're just going to make shows for Disney Plus, and hope that somebody watches it. I mean, the ratings for Daredevil are hard. I haven't even watched a single episode of Daredevil. So
it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if you're going to do these Disney Plus series, because the general movie-going audience probably is going to keep up with all of them, maybe you're not going to do things that are like super important that happen in them, and they're more like kind of side stories. But if that's the case, how could you expect anyone to want to watch them, right? Like that's kind of where they're at right now in it. People are complaining about things that take place that they didn't understand because they didn't watch every Disney Plus series. Yet if they were to make these series and not have some important things happen, what's the fucking point of doing them? The real truth is there's no point in fucking doing them. They shouldn't be doing them.
What I thought Disney Plus, if they were going to do Star Wars shows, it would be shows like The Skeleton Crew, made for children. No one really cares, but it's a show on Disney Plus. Didn't think that was going to be their main hub for Star Wars entertainment. Maybe a show like The Mandalorian specifically stays on Disney Plus, doesn't hit the big screen while they're making blockbuster films, right? Same thing with Marvel. They could have taken some side stories, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., something like that, and done shows like that. That's where I thought it was going, but obviously not. They wanted to tie everything in to their big budget production, and I guess they thought everybody was gonna watch the shows, then pay money to watch the films, then buy the toys and all that stuff, but it didn't really work out that way.
The Russo brothers have been kind of on PR. Like, one, they're talking to a lot of people because they just released Electric State on Netflix, which I haven't read that graphic novel. I don't know anything about the source material. The movie was just kind of slop. It wasn't like,
is that the robots versus the humans?
Yeah. It wasn't anything like,
yeah.
I didn't think it was offensive.
It was a streaming movie, right?
Just slop. The problem is you can't be making slop for $320 million. And that's what that costs for a Netflix movie. That's fucking insane. But they've obviously been talking to a lot of people, one, because of that, and Marvel always comes up, and they're talking about what they're doing with Marvel. And they have made some comments about getting more focused and, saying that everything's very spread out. And they used to have like a focus when it came to MCU storytelling, and it's gotten completely outside of that, and they want to bring it back to a focus and what they're doing in the movies and pushing it forward. Those are all great things to say. We got to find a way to wrap up all these characters and storylines and things like that are currently ongoing and make it focused. So,
I mean, bringing back Robert Downey Jr., like it screams desperation, That's all.